Welcome to our channel Storm Rider. When we talk about the 2026 USS Zumwalt DDG-1000 Destroyer, we're not just talking about a modern warship, we're talking about one of the most ambitious, experimental, and forward-leaning naval platforms ever built by the United States Navy. The Zumwalt represents a dramatic departure from the traditional look, function, and philosophy of destroyer-class vessels, offering a mix of stealth, automation, power generation, and sensor fusion that pushes naval engineering into territory that many older ships simply aren't designed to reach. At first glance, the Zumwalt's appearance is unlike anything in service today. Instead of the tall mast, wide superstructure, and sharp right angles we've seen for decades, the Zumwalt features a sleek, low-profile deckhouse built from radar-absorbent composite materials and a tumble-home hull that slopes inward as it rises. This design dramatically reduces the ship's radar cross-section, making a 600-foot destroyer appear on radar systems more like a small fishing vessel or patrol craft, which gives it the ability to approach contested shorelines and high-threat zones without immediately triggering enemy detection networks. Combine that with a quiet electric drive system that minimizes acoustic signatures, and you get a warship that is not only harder to detect visually or electronically, but also harder to track by submarine sonar systems, an extremely valuable capability in an era when undersea warfare is rapidly evolving. One of the most revolutionary aspects of the Zumwalt is its integrated power system, or IPS, which generates over 78 megawatts of electrical power, far more than any other destroyer in service. Unlike traditional ships that use gas turbines solely to drive propulsion, Zumwalt's engines feed massive generators that produce electrical power for everything on board, including motors that turn the propellers. This essentially turns the entire ship into a giant floating power plant, capable of rerouting energy instantly to weapons, propulsion, sensors, or emerging technologies. In practical terms, this means Zumwalt has the electrical backbone necessary to support next-generation weapons like railguns, directed energy lasers, electromagnetic systems, and hypersonic missile launchers, systems that require enormous bursts of power that older destroyers simply cannot supply. The Navy has already confirmed that Zumwalt will play a central role in testing and deploying long-range hypersonic weapons, which can travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound and strike high-value targets from extremely long distances with incredible precision. Hypersonic systems could allow Zumwalt to conduct deep-strike missions without entering enemy air defense ranges, giving the U.S. a significant strategic advantage. When it comes to weapons already on board, the Zumwalt carries vertical launch system cells capable of firing an array of advanced missiles. These include Tomahawk cruise missiles for long-range land attack missions, evolved Sea Sparrow missiles for air defense, SM-series missiles capable of defending against aircraft and ballistic threats, and anti-ship missiles for surface warfare. The flexibility of the VLS allows the ship to tailor its loadout based on mission type, whether that means supporting ground forces ashore, patrolling contested waters, or integrating with carrier strike groups. Earlier in its development, the Zumwalt featured two 155mm advanced gun systems designed to fire super long-range precision rounds. While the guns themselves remain impressive engineering achievements, their specialized ammunition became too expensive to justify mass production, leading the Navy to pivot toward missile-dominated warfare. By 2026, the Zumwalt's future shines brightest as a missile and energy weapon platform rather than a traditional gun-based strike ship. Of course, firepower means nothing without the sensors and electronics to detect and engage threats. Zumwalt's electronic suite is among the most advanced ever placed on a surface warship. Instead of using separate, independently operated radar, sonar, and fire control systems, the Zumwalt uses a completely integrated combat system where all sensors share data instantly across a single digital architecture. Think of it as the ship functioning like a single supercomputer, where target information, navigation data, threat detection, tracking, and weapon recommendations are constantly being cross-checked and updated in real time. The radar system is optimized for detecting low-flying aircraft, stealthy drones, incoming missiles, and surface vessels, giving the ship a clear picture of complex environments. In addition, its advanced sonar systems help it operate effectively against submarine threats, especially in shallow coastal waters where sonar conditions are most challenging. This high level of sensor fusion and automation dramatically reduces the time between detecting a threat and responding to it, allowing the ship to react faster than would be possible with older analog or partially digital systems. Another key factor that sets the Zumwalt apart is its crew requirements. Traditional destroyers often carry well over 300 sailors to operate all systems, conduct maintenance, and handle damage control. But Zumwalt's hyper-automated systems reduce that number by nearly half. Automated engineering monitors, advanced fire suppression systems, digital damage control tools, and self-diagnosing machinery allow a smaller crew to manage the ship efficiently without sacrificing readiness. In many ways, Zumwalt operates more like a smart ship, constantly analyzing its own systems, predicting issues before they become critical, and giving the crew the ability to prioritize mission tasks over routine operational labor. This doesn't just reduce workload, it enhances long-term sustainability, reduces fatigue, and lowers operational costs compared to similarly sized warships. Strategically, the Zumwalt fills a unique role within the U.S. Navy. It was originally designed for land attack missions and operations near hostile shorelines, where its stealth shape would reduce its exposure to anti-ship missiles and coastal defense systems. Over time, however, the ship's potential has evolved into something broader. In 2026, the Navy sees Zumwalt as a versatile, future-proof platform capable of deep-strike warfare, electronic dominance, and forward-positioned reconnaissance in contested zones. Its ability to blend into the radar environment, gather high-quality sensor data, relay that information to the fleet, and if necessary, strike targets at long range makes it a valuable asset in multi-domain operations. In conflicts where fast reaction time and long-range precision matter, Zumwalt can act as both a stealthy scout and a hard-hitting strike asset. The Zumwalt has not been without controversy. Early in the program, rising costs and shifting mission requirements led to public criticism and reductions in the planned fleet size. The cancellation of its specialized gun ammunition raised further questions about whether the ship's design was too ambitious or too ahead of its time. But the Navy's 2026 modernization trajectory shows that Zumwalt is transitioning into a powerful and flexible testbed for the next generation of naval warfare technologies. Instead of being confined to its original purpose, the ship has become a foundation for exploring what future warships will require: massive electrical power, stealth, modular weapon systems, and integrated digital combat networks. In many ways, Zumwalt was never just about what it would do on launch day, it was about designing a ship that could evolve with technology over decades. In the end, the 2026 USS Zumwalt DDG-1000 Destroyer stands as one of the most technologically advanced naval ships ever created. Its stealth-driven design, power-rich propulsion system, advanced sensors, networked combat architecture, and future-ready weapons potential make it a genuine preview of what tomorrow's naval forces may look like. Whether operating quietly near hostile shorelines, performing long-range strikes, feeding critical sensor data to a larger fleet, or hosting new experimental weapons, the Zumwalt brings capabilities to the table that few ships in the world can match. It shows us that the future of naval warfare won't just be about firepower, it will be about intelligence, integration, power distribution, stealth, and adaptability. And if you're trying to understand where naval engineering is heading, the Zumwalt isn't just part of the story, it's one of the leading chapters.